Yo, I got a question. Do I look like someone who listens to Beabadoobee? Probably no, right? Now, what if I were to tell you that she was in my top 3 for my Spotify rap last year? Crazy, right? Welcome back to another video. Today, this video will basically be me giving my thoughts and opinions on all of Beabadoobee's projects. I wanted to do this video because I think some people will find it interesting of what a boy thinks of her music, and also because I really like Beabadoobee. So for this video, we're going to be going through all of B's discography, including EPs and albums starting from Lice all the way to vtopia. I'm thinking of making this a series of me just talking about other female artists that I like, but who knows? The other artists may or may not be Clara. But before we start, let me tell you how I discovered Beabadoobee. I think it was 2 or maybe 3 years ago when I heard her song somewhere and I just kept on playing it. After a full week of playing that one song, I decided I should probably check out her discography. And let's just say I had a really good time. Now 2 or 3 years later, I'm making a video about it. Kinda crazy how life works. But enough wasting time. I already know this video is going to be really long because we got so many things to go into. So let's start all the way in the beginning. Her first EP, Lice. Lice is like the prelude of Beabadoobee, and it'll give you a hint of what's to come. This is definitely the most grounded B has ever been, and it makes sense since it's her first project. Honestly, I really don't have much to say for Lice. The runtime of this EP is only 8 minutes long and only has 4 tracks. I see this EP as B just getting warmed up before she releases her real big first EP. Bro, I know there's probably so many people that really like Lice are so mad at me right now, but I'm sorry, bro. Like, compared to everything else B has put out after this EP does just kind of seem like a prelude. But it is a prelude to something great, because at the end of that same year, B will release another EP, Patched Up. Now this is an introduction to Beabadoobee. With the runtime of 25 minutes and 7 tracks, this EP really gives you a sense of B's style and the type of era she was in back then. This is, in my opinion, probably her most chill project, with all the songs having a nice acoustic guitar that gives off a nice down-to-earth vibe. Now, one thing I want to talk about that I'll probably talk about for the rest of this video is the production. I didn't realize this until a couple months ago, but one of the most controversial things in the Beabadoobee fandom is her production. As we go deeper into her discography, we'll see a shift in her production that leans on a more heavy produced side than what she usually had, which was a more relaxed and raw type of production. A lot of people say they prefer her old style of production with a laid-back vibe, and others prefer the new style that is a bit more heavy and upbeat. Personally, I like both. I think each side of the production has a lot of good points and bad points to them, so I understand why some people would choose one over the other. But this project in particular is when her production was at a chill level and kind of had a raw vibe to it. What do you guys think? Do you prefer her old style of music, aka the simplistic raw vibe, or do you prefer her new high energy production? Before we end this section, I'll share what my favorite song is and my least favorite. For Patched Up, I would say that my favorite track has to be Art Class. Let me tell you, I had so many favorite tracks in this EP that it was so hard to pick out. But if I had to pick one right now, I think it would be Art Class. Bro, the switch on the second half of the song was the best thing I ever heard, bro. And to top it all off, B's humming. Whenever B starts humming this song, it's automatically a 10. I don't care. For my least favorite song, I would say I don't have one, but that's boring, so I'll have to choose Everest. Now, I don't hate Everest at all, but if I had to choose one, it would have to be that one. And it's not even a bad song. It's just that compared to every other song, I like Everest the least. So after Patched Up came out, B released her third EP, Love Worm. Now I know Love Worm is a fan favorite, and a lot of people have it as their favorite B project. And it's not hard to see why. This EP is basically patched up but better. The production seems to have gotten better in terms of quality, and this is where B also started to put more effort into the production. Not too much production to where it's overloaded, but still enough to notice the difference. Bro, I just now realized this, but Patched Up and Love Worm have the same runtime. What the fuck? How have I never noticed that? But Love Worm has some absolute bangers on there. I'm talking Disappear and Apple Cider, which Apple Cider is considered to be one of her best songs ever. I would say that this is when B really started to find her way and her own style while also showing off new ones. And in case you did miss the old style of Patched Up, B also released the bedroom session of Love Worm, which is honestly one of the most comfy things I've ever heard. Like, I really recommend giving it a listen. But yeah, a very good EP in and out. It showed how different B is to everyone else. My favorite track off the EP may be a surprise to you, but it's Angel. Now I was just like y'all, bro. I had Apple Cider as the best song off the EP. But one day I just clicked play on Angel and my whole life changed. I don't know why, but the way B sings certain words in that song just makes me feel like I'm floating. My least favorite song is gonna be Ceilings, and I feel so bad for Ceilings. The only reason I have Ceilings as my least favorite is because of the song that it came after. Ceilings came right after Apple Cider, and for everybody that listens to Apple Cider, you know that it's a very upbeat song. So to go from Apple Cider to Ceilings, which is a more slowed down song, it was a very drastic shift in energy. Literally, if Ceilings would have been placed in any other place besides after Apple Cider, then I probably wouldn't have had it as my least favorite track, but someone had to bite the dust. Now in October of that same year, 2019, Bieber released her 4th EP, Space Cadet. Now before we start, I just want to say that this is my favorite thing B has ever released. Like ever. Out of all the albums and EPs, Space Cadet is my favorite. Literally everything about Space Cadet was perfect. And I'm not just talking about the music. The art style and the aesthetic of the Space Cadet era was so fire. Like, look at this. Like, bro, I want to paint my whole bedroom the style of Space Cadet. Every music video in this era was also so well done, and it brought out Bree's creativity even more. And all of that is elevated greater with the music. With sadly only 5 songs, but a runtime of 19 minutes. Each song is perfect. Like, just perfect, bro.
And I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
The production of this EP is also insane. It fits the theme of this album so well, every track feeling like you're taking a trip out of space. For my favorite tracks, it's all of them. Literally all of them. Each and every song on here is a 10 out of 10, maybe even an 11. For least favorite songs, I have none. That may sound boring, but I'm sorry, bro. This album is so special to me. When I die, I want the last track, which is funny enough titled Space Cadet, to play at my funeral. If that's not playing at my funeral, I'm coming back and I'm haunting everyone, I swear. But now that we took a trip to outer space, it's time to go back to Earth and get ready for B's first album, Fake It Flowers. Now I know I said that Love Worm was a fan favorite, but that also applies to Fake It Flowers too. This album is everything you like about B all in one. If you like her more slow guitar songs, then this album has them, with songs like How Was Your Day and Back to Mars. But if you love her more heavy punk type of songs, then it has plenty also, with songs like Charlie Brown and Machine Force Magdalene. When asked about the album, B responded with, and I quote, "The album is more than a capsule of songs I wrote when I was 17, but also songs I wrote during the recording of the album, and me talking about shit that happened to me as a kid. It's pretty much my whole life in one album." You can definitely tell what B was talking about when she said that. This is probably the most personal project B released yet, with heavy hitting songs, but also a lot of beautiful ones. Plus, in this album, we have even more B humming. My favorite track off the album is gonna have to be Emo Song. This might be B's saddest song she's ever released. I'm not gonna get into the specifics, but if you wanna know what the song is about, Genius probably has an explanation for the song. But Emo Song really does get you in your feels, and the instrumental adds an extra layer of sadness. My least favorite track is gonna be Horn Saracen, as this is probably the worst aged song B has ever released. This track is about her boyfriend at the time, and notice how I said at the time, because those two aren't together anymore. So every time you listen to this song, you get like kinda awkward listening to it. It's kinda like when you look at old messages with your ex, like the messages are sweet, and it takes you back to when you guys were in love, but then when you look at where you guys are at now, it just gets kind of awkward, you know? It's still a great song though, it just didn't age super well. After Fake It Flowers, in 2021, B will release her 5th EP, Our Extended Play. This EP is when B fully embraces her new sound and goes headfirst into a more heavy, messy production style. Literally, listen to the first 5 seconds of the first song on the album and you'll hear the difference immediately. I feel like this EP is B saying to the audience that this is the new her, and if you don't like it, she does not care. This EP only has 4 tracks and a runtime of 12 minutes, but I promise you, those 12 minutes will stick with you. My favorite track on the album will probably be Last Day on Earth. When I tell you the first time I listened to it and I heard the instrumental, everything around me started floating like it was the intro to Gravity Falls. This song really makes you feel like it's the last day on Earth, and instead of being sad about it, the song kinda instead makes me feel nostalgic and even a little bit happy. Now for my least favorite song, it will have to be Animal Noises. Now compared to all the other heavy produced tracks on this EP, Animal Noises takes a more slowed down approach. The song is so weird to me because it fits in with the album so well, but also doesn't at the same time. It's not a bad song at all, it's just the one that stands out the most compared to the other 3 songs in the EP. But now that we finished our extended play, it's finally time to go over B's most recent project as of recording this video, vtopia. vtopia is probably her most famous project, and this is where a lot of people started discovering who she is. Songs like 1036 and The Perfect Pair became instant hits on TikTok and other platforms as well. This album is the new and improved B, with brand new intense mainstream type of production, while also having the normal Beabadoobee charm to it. When talking about the album, B said, and I quote, "I feel like this record was the first time I was really intimately collaborative with another musician. I felt so much more comfortable. Everything just made sense. There's no rules. We created a really long playlist of all the songs we love, and they were all so different. I don't want to be tied to one genre. I realize I can make anything I want. I feel like with Fake It Flowers, I talked quite a lot about negative experiences, and it really helped me through those situations. But I think vtopia was the moment that I finally accepted my past." B is now in a much more happier place than she was before, and the music reflects that greatly. Each and every song feeling different from the last while still having that same old Beabadoobee style to it. And I find that kind of charming, to be honest. After all the EPs and albums we talked about so far, B never really lost what made her special compared to everyone else. Even though her production has definitely changed a lot, you can still tell that from the songs, it's still the same B that we all know and love. For my favorite track off the album, it is without a doubt See You Soon. Let me just say, I'm a sucker for any song that has a build up for like the whole duration of it. A song I would compare this to is Street Lights from Kanye. I can go into detail about Kanye's whole discography, but that's for another video. Street Lights in particular is one of my favorite Kanye songs ever, and it's for the same reason as to why I love See You Soon so much. Both tracks start off kinda calm and chill, but as the song progresses it gets more and more busy with more instruments being added, until at the very end it all comes together to make a loud, beautiful sound. And that is basically what See You Soon is. With every time the chorus is sung, a new instrument is added until at the very end it just makes a cinematic, insane, and beautiful sounding song. Also, the song in general is like taking a breath of fresh air and having to let go of the past. My least favorite track off the album is vtopia Cold Song. Now I know that that's low-key not fair, as this is supposed to be like an introduction track, but honestly bro, I could not decide which is my least favorite track. Like I was really thinking hard about it. I went through like every track, but I just couldn't make a decision. But I decided to say the intro song is my least favorite, even though that's also not true because the intro slaps, bro. Well, now that we finished going through all of B's discography, I'm wondering what your guys' favorite project is. Put it down in the comments, like I'm really interested to see what you guys have to say. But yeah, this is my opinion on B's music coming from a boy. Are you surprised? I really do love B's music, and right now she is currently my favorite female artist. Also, she has an album coming out in August, which like I cannot wait for it, bro. Like that's gonna be so fire. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I don't know when I'll do another one of these, but it was pretty fun to do this one, I ain't gonna lie. I'll see you guys later, man. Peace.